Hi everybody, it's just a short vlog to keep you up to date. I did do a 2020 in review at the beginning of this year. I think it was end of January or February I put it up. I hadn't put up very much. I know last year I was in a lot of pain from about end of April, May. We were full lockdown. I only got to doctors trying to think now, in end of May, middle of May, and the pain continued right through until about January, February, March. It started dissipating, and although I've still got pain, it's not as bad as it was. But pain can be very debilitating. I just found I didn't have the energy or the will, I won't say the willpower, but just the will to do very much. And with it I had to clean out my kitchen because the kitchen was being renovated, the bathroom had been renovated. So life in the house itself has been a little bit upside down. But now hopefully all is well. I am wellish. Of course on Monday I took a tumble and landed up on the floor. And it's the worst place for me to be because it's the hardest place for me to get up from, as I can't get onto either of my knees anymore to use them to lift myself up. But as you can see, Simon did help me get up in the end, although it was early in the morning and he said it sounded like an earthquake, the way the floor shook with the noise I made as I went down. So I put on a bit of weight. It was when I was not that well. I was obviously eating more and not really looking after myself. So now I'm going to go back to square one and try and lose all the weight that I've put on. So that is another problem. Then opened the shop. Well, the shop had been open, I think, to Christmas. About 3 weeks ago I closed the shop. I came down with what felt like bronchitis, but it was like just suddenly. And I got a bit worried because the shop had been open, so I said, Simon, let's go and get ourselves tested. Tests came back negative, but I was then in the grips of flu and coughing and really feeling bad, although they did give me antibiotics when we went to be tested, as it was through or at our clinic, our local doctor's clinic. And so I was taking the antibiotics and I thought, I'll just shut the shop. I'm not feeling well and it's pointless me barking all over everybody else and giving them my bronchial and flu symptoms and getting them sick. So the shop has been shut since then. I will be opening this week, which today is Wednesday, so today will be the day that I open. But it's been a bit weird because I've ended up with 2 lots of clothing being delivered out of the blue. One lot arrived on Monday, the second lot arrived, no it wasn't, it was Friday last week. The first load, 3 bags of clothing arrived, and the second lot arrived on Saturday, I think Saturday or Sunday. One of my customers came and said, oh, here's a bag of clothing for you. So I need to go and sort through those. I'm hoping there'll be some winter stuff amongst it so that I can take out some of the summer stuff and put in more of the winter stuff. I'm also hoping now that I'm feeling a bit better, other than my knees from the fall. My body's a bit bruised all over. Oh, excuse me. But hopefully I'll get over that quick enough and I can get back into my sewing and get myself more motivated to do more for the shop. Been letting it go a little bit. Just as I say, I haven't felt like doing very much. But I've cleaned out the workroom. The stockroom is also fairly clear, but I've got to wait until I can pack all my stuff back into the kitchen. So the 1 shelf unit that I've got there, which is 4 shelves, I think 1, 2 or 3 shelves, is full of kitchen stuff. And until I clear that, I've still got boxes in the stock room, and I've got a suitcase of fabric in the passage which I keep banging my toes on. So I'd like to get rid of that, and I'll be able to clear up a bit more. I think really that's it, but I just wanted to keep you up to date and in the loop. I am still around, and the shop and the video or the vlogs will carry on in the for the shop and for my home as well. The ensuite bathroom, by the way, is coming on nicely. We're going to do someone, I think, once you get that in, so that I don't need to walk all the way around the house when he does the second half of the kitchen, which needs new flooring. I was sitting jokingly as we've got all the components, the shower, the toilet and the basin, and everything's ready to go in, and the plumbing. I could a shower by the weekend, but I think it might take a little bit longer than that to get all the plumbing in. And he's still got to get a door in, although I'm not worried about the door at all. But then he'll finish tackling the kitchen. And I was trying to work it out. I was going to put it into the 2020 review, but realised we only really started the kitchen after Christmas, should I say. So I'll put that when I'll put some of it up and then do a full one of just kitchen as it took shape from the old to the new, so that you can see. Maybe do that as 1 or 2 vlogs. I'll show the old kitchen first, and then the second vlog will show the new kitchen going in, or 2 vlogs on the kitchen. And of course the ensuite. I'm now trying to persuade Simon to put in a wardrobe unit in our bedroom, which is the one we've put en suite, so that we can have one wardrobe across the one wall, take down the cupboard that I'm using, which is built in, but it's so awkward because the bedside tables are so tight on the sides of the bed. It makes the bed difficult to make. I end up quite often just putting my bedside table up into the wardrobe to make the bed, so I can get to the top end of the bed. So that might be an idea. And the other one that I've been wanting to for years is put on an extension on the back. And I had been looking at different kits, but they're quite expensive, and I found somebody advertising on Trade Me, which is New Zealand's eBay, I suppose, and they do steel framing. So you buy the steel framework of the building or room or whatever it is you want to add on to your property or house or whatever, and then you can do the rest of it yourself. So that what I want to put on the back of the house, depending which country you're in, it's be like a conservatory or a sun lounge or an enclosed balcony type area where we can put our washing machines out, and the spare deep freeze, get rid of that funny little room that's between the outside toilet, of course outside toilet, where the toilet is now, and the kitchen door, get rid of all of that, and just have one big room there that we can use it in multi-purpose. We can have place for there's a little washing area, which we could maybe build into a cupboard, and a lounge area where when it's sunny in winter and in summer, we've got a nice warm place. If it's very windy, you can close the doors. If it's hot, you can open the doors. Maybe even put a fire in there to keep it warm in the winter when it's not nice weather. And use it a bit as an entertaining area. So when you've got visitors, it happens here, you have a party or you arrange a party and it rains. And then everybody goes into the garage, and it's not really, doesn't really look nice. Oh, let's all go to the garage, and you're climbing over cars or motorbikes or tables and things. Whereas having a dedicated sort of sun lounge area, everybody can sit in comfort in there when you're having parties, especially if it's going to rain. And it'll just add extra to the house. It's also depending on how much money we've got left out of the money that Simon's got. But we've done, I think he's done very well with what we've got. It wasn't as part of the estate money from his father, and he's been trying to use it conservatively. Another thing I'd like to ask those people who have subscribed, please, when you watch my videos, if you can press the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Apparently it helps with YouTube. If you find them a bit boring, maybe just play them through. You don't need to watch them. You can go and do something else. But if you can do that and share the videos with other people, because I can actually make money out of YouTube if I can get enough subscribers. I need 1,400, I think it's 4,000 or 400 viewing hours, and it's quite difficult to get. I mean, since I started, I think I've got 7 subscribers, and I really appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for subscribing. But I do need to try and increase my subscriber base, and maybe if you've got any ideas of ways that I can do this, I would really appreciate it. Maybe once a week I must do a vlog like this where I check in and let you know what's going on, and when I show videos of the shop and if I'm saying or what I'm saying, which I will be doing quite a bit of, I hope, this year. I need a new wardrobe, so I need to try and, I think, make as much as I can, especially a winter wardrobe. A lot of the jerseys and jumpers that I've got, I brought with me 12 years ago, and I think they were 10 years old before I brought them. So it's like this black one that I'm wearing. I think Simon gave it to me a couple of years after we were married, and so it's, well, we've been married 30 years, so it could be anything within that period in age. I think that's about all for now. As I say, thanks again. Thumbs up, give comments, give me some ideas if you've got any, and I've got quite a lot of footage that I have been doing that I haven't felt, as I say, even like editing, because that takes time. But I will be editing a lot of it and slowly putting it in as fillers until I get some new stuff going, and with the bathrooms and the kitchen and all the other stuff that, and the shop, of course, as we get going. Enjoy your week, and it's Easter next weekend, I think, or 2 weeks' time. It's your week and a half. It's Easter, and I wish everybody a very happy Easter, and may you be out of lockdown, able to travel, those people who need to travel, and stay safe, please, people. This COVID-19 is not funny. We know some people in our town who have actually died from it, and so the restrictions, I think, are necessary to keep people safe. And if everybody does their little bit to stay safe, we will see you maybe in the future, or at least stay in contact in the future. Love you all. Bye. Oh, sore knees. I'll leave it on for a little while and just see what we do. I have to edit it a bit. I've got lots of bookwork to catch up on. I want to do things I'd like to be doing this year. Sorry guys, I remembered a whole lot I needed to say. Things I wanted to do this year is, one, I need to keep my bookkeeping up to date. I haven't been very good with that, so I've got a lot of filing to do and things to write up, stock to write up, things that I've bought, and sales. I must sort out what I made last year. I went and bought a new diary, as this year not many diaries have been forthcoming. I think with 2020 and businesses being closed most of the year, diaries and calendars went out the window as companies battle to stay alive and stay on board. I wanted to do Easter bunnies and chickens, reusing plastic bottles, and as usual I leave everything to the last minute, but I did get the paper mache book that I wanted with the recipe on how to make the paper mache cement. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, I've got that recipe now and I've got all the ingredients, and so I'll probably show you as I go along and build up some bunnies with the paper mache and some chickens, and I can keep them for next year. I don't need to use them this year, and maybe look at making some other stuff. The newspapers and paper situation here, every week we get 2 newspapers and tons of junk mail, which is coloured stuff, you know, this plasticky coloured paper that doesn't burn very well. So this is what I'm trying to want to try and use up, so I can use it in the centre of the paper mache pieces that I put together. And I'm going to give it a try. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, figure something else to use the paper for. But I figure if I could try and recycle as much stuff as possible as well, in between making clothing for myself, making clothing for the shop. I want to be making pot holders. I need to make some for our new kitchen and make some to sell in the shop. I was thinking of doing, I bought an oven mitt where you put your hand in, and it's not a fitted mitt, but it's a square mitt to start with. Maybe I'll put the one I bought. I'm just looking where it is. It's disappeared from where I had it on the table here. And so I want to make those as well in the sewing, and I've got start using some of the fabric, make some more skirts for winter, make some jumpers. I've got lots of knit. I've got a couple of rolls here. I've got red, I've got blue, I've got like a turquoisey colours, I've got green, I've got black, white, I've got bolts of them. So I've got quite a lot of that. I've got the micro fleece. I've got that in a whole lot of colours as well, turquoise or aqua and blue and yellow and like a magenta colour, red, not so much a red, but purple I've got, I know, dark blue, light blue, black as well. So yeah, I've got lots of fabric there. I'm going to start using it up and making different items for the shop and for myself. And so some of it might be clothing, some of it may be pot holders, coasters. That's what I was thinking of doing coasters and pot holders is the same, or mug rugs, little ones for your mugs, and working on little sort of sets of things, more cushion covers, maybe some totes, although I did buy totes, and looking at different patchwork things. I like patchwork, so I'm looking at doing stuff with patchwork. I've got quite a few boxes, never mind bags, but boxes of offcuts from fabric that I've made something out of and what's left of it. And I've also bought some, I think, by scrap for dolls' clothes and different things. It's another thing I can make, dolls' clothes. So I've got quite a lot of stuff I want to be doing, and I want to try and catch up this year and get myself back into the loop, making things and selling them, of course, in the shop as well. I hope that's all. I'm just letting this video run for a bit, so as I think of things to say, or if I've left something out, I can just add it. Calendars. I couldn't find a calendar in the shop. Maybe it's too late in the year and they've got rid of all the calendars, or they've sold them all, because As I say, businesses did not give out free diaries or calendars this year. So I couldn't find a calendar, but I found a weekly planner. So I'm going to see how I can use that. Not in the shop, but here. I can just write the dates on the days, and as I've got things to do, you know, if I've got a doctor's appointment, I can write the April and which week it is and remind myself, and then that I've got to do that to keep myself alert as to what is happening in my life. The dress behind me, you can see still on the door there. Need to make it slightly bigger, so I'm going to add a piece under the arm. That was supposed to be my Christmas dress, but we didn't do anything Christmas, so it'll sit there maybe until I just enlarge it slightly under the arms, because I put on so much weight. And or a party or birthday comes along. I do have Simon's 60th coming up, so that I want to plan a nice party. Thinking we maybe hire a premises. We've got the Town and Country Club, and get somebody to do catering for me. Ask one or two of my friends if they won't do catering. I'd rather give them the money than hire an expensive caterer. I'm sure we could do something better, but I don't want to be bothered with doing food and all the rest of it. And I did have to tell Simon, because he's rather funny about these things. I organised a surprise party for him, not last year, the year before. I think it was a surprise. It was supposed to be his birthday party, and he was very upset. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you? I could have done this, I could have done that. So I decided, rather than have him all up in arms because I didn't tell him as a secret party, I'd rather just say to him, and also he's going to have to pay for the booze anyway. I need to save some money so that I can at least pay for the food, if not for the premises as well, and think of what to buy him for as a present. He's a difficult man to buy. I can think of 100 things he wants or needs, but some of them are a little bit expensive. So, yeah, I was looking at lathes, and he doesn't want a small lathe. He wants a decent sized one which got a nice sized bed. And to buy a biggish one, sort of, I would say within the size, ones I was looking were in the tens and thousands. And I thought, oh, no. So I have to maybe look around for a second-hand one and keep my eye on Trade Me, see if I can find one that's going, even if it's an old one, as for a wood lathe for him. I think he'll enjoy that. When he had access to his boss's one, he was coming home with bowls, and he was making walking sticks, and he did the lampshade bases, did them as a Coke bottle shape, and he was thoroughly enjoying that. So I think something like that he can make stuff with, and that I can sell in the shop, may be a good outlet for him, although he's at the moment motorbike mad. So every time, riding his bike around town, not terribly happy because he hasn't got his driving license yet, but I think he's being careful, at least I hope he is. I unfortunately can't get on anymore. I miss biking, but I can't get my legs over the seat, so I haven't been out on the bike. And he's now got 3 in the garage. I keep pestering him. He doesn't need 3, he only needs 1, so he must decide which ones he wants to keep and sell the other 2. I think it's taken him a while to, having been out of biking, taken a while to figure out what he wants to do. And can't afford to license all 3, so he was really getting him act together and decide which of the 3 he wants to keep and sell the other 2.